Hello, kia ora, g'day. I'm Philip Duncan from Weather Watch TV on YouTube with your Australia-only forecast for the week ahead and the upcoming weekend. Let's kick off with the satellite map showing a bit of energy around today. We've got thunderstorms along the eastern side of Australia. We've got a southerly flow coming through there that's being felt as far north as Queensland. In fact, the polar airflow line is coming right up over Brisbane at the moment, so temperatures are certainly down for the next couple of days. We've got a weak area of low pressure around New South Wales that's producing some inland rain around the outback. That is drifting eastwards. And then you've got the main feature, the high pressure zone south of Adelaide. That is the main feature for Australia at the moment. It's dominating most of the airflows, including the southerly along the eastern side and the north to northeasterly on the western side. And as usual, on the top edge of high pressure, where you've got the jet stream at the very high altitude, a whole bunch of high cloud zipping along quite quickly eastwards on the northern side of that high pressure zone. So a few things are moving around as we kick off this week. On the air pressure map showing temperatures as well, going into the later part of today, you can see that weak area of low pressure sort of drifting towards Queensland and the northern parts of New South Wales. The high, the main feature, drifting eastwards as well. Warmest weather to the top of the country and once more over around the western side because, of course, that northerly wind coming down is lifting up your temperatures. So a pretty simple equation with the high pressure zone. East is cold, west is warm. Let's get into the forecast. So here we are on Tuesday. We'll start with the severe weather box. Once more, very lowest end of the risk, but it's the chance of more thunderstorms and squally showers coming off the ocean and coming through as we go through your Tuesday. Ahead of it, the warm north to northwesterly winds or northeasterly, depending on where you are. But generally, it's a northerly flow, and that's starting to pick up as you go into South Australia. The leftovers of the cold change, you can see here. Someone asked me, why do you get these little circles? It's a little tricky to explain, but it's high up in the atmosphere. Easiest way to explain it is think about an iceberg. You know, iceberg, most of it's underwater, right? 90% of it's sitting under the water, 10% pops up on the top. That's a little bit the same. It's the leftovers of that cold blast lingering high up in the atmosphere, but the rest of it is being pushed off away. So there's still some cold airflow behind, higher up in the atmosphere. Throw in some daytime heating, that can produce some thunderstorms, and that's what we are expecting in the days ahead. Some heavy showers in the east here could already start to produce some thunderstorms. There may be a few isolated ones around parts of Queensland and New South Wales going into Tuesday. Further to the southeast, colder for you. You've got frosts returning after that wintry change and high pressure bringing in light winds, some heavy rain around Sydney. So that is your Tuesday. By Wednesday, the thunderstorms are increasing over on the eastern side of Australia. Now look, quite a large box showing the risk of them, but not everyone in that box has severe weather, not at all. So lowest end of the scale again, but you can see thunderstorm risks going all the way from about Sydney, all the way north of Brisbane, mostly inland. We do see that severe, moderate to severe thunderstorm risk, and you've got showers also coming in with easterlies, thanks to the high pressure zone that's drifting to New Zealand. So easterlies carry on for the eastern side, some rain and showers in there. And windy northerlies carry on, pushing through into South Australia ahead of the cold front. And just like the eastern side, the severe weather box is for the same kind of stuff. A few thunderstorms around. The difference is West Coast has the chance of those squally showers, more wintry kind of off the ocean. That could be coming through here. You can see the wintry blue line just southwest of you. So that is a cold front. Thunderstorms, downpours are in that mix for various parts of the southwest corner of Western Australia. By Thursday, that moves further inland. It's pretty much falling apart. It just highlights a few thunderstorms that could be around, or heavy downpours. Doesn't always have to have thunder, but that's around a bit of low pressure hanging around Western Australia, although the next big high is out there over the Indian Ocean. Jump over to the eastern side, and the box showing severe weather now shows the risk of severe thunderstorms. They may form on Thursday, especially around New South Wales. Some heavy rain also feeding in around the back end of that high pressure system that's off to New Zealand. So heavy rain, showers, thunderstorms, also spilling over into the southeast of Queensland. Most other places are dry, apart from a couple of coastal showers in the mix. South Australia is dry, although those northerlies are still a bit brisk in exposed areas. And the temperatures are lifting up in Victoria, the A.C.T and Tasmania as we get towards Thursday. Basically, temperatures going up because of those northerly winds that are starting to develop ahead of the cold front. But the cold front here on Friday, pretty much falling apart as it moves along sideways, sort of running parallel to to the southern coastline, and high pressure is building from the Indian Ocean down around Perth. So that is expanding out, the front falling apart, but there may still be a couple of thunderstorms here just coming through, clipping some parts of South Australia by the very end of Friday. But we've still got those downpours and thunderstorms and areas of rain along the eastern side of Australia, particularly the southeast corner of Queensland and much of coastal New South Wales. It fades out as you come down towards about Sydney, but you've still got some heavy falls there, and you never know about the thunderstorm activity. Pretty dry in Victoria. There may be a few showers around the mountains in particular, and the northern part of Tassie may also get a few showers in the mix on Friday. Certainly it goes downhill by Saturday. Low pressure now back in the forecast. That is tracking through. The polar line is just brushing Victoria. So if you're on the coastline of Victoria, especially on the western side, you're going to feel those temperatures down for you on Saturday. Temperatures dropping into Tasmania, where there may be a light dusting of snow again at the higher elevations. So a bit messy for you going into the weekend. There is high pressure near South Australia, so that's why South Australia doesn't have a lot going on. Southwest flow brings in a few showers for you, and a wee bit of low pressure around the Gascoyne could just produce a few showers for you, maybe a thunderstorm or two going into Saturday. But if you're in the Northern Territory, make the most of the dry season. The heat is dropping a little further southwards at the moment, but it's certainly mostly dry, stays that way all weekend long, and pretty dry for the far north of Queensland as well. A couple of isolated showers around, nothing too much. The showers are easing to some degree in the southeast corner and southern parts of Queensland. There may be a few afternoon downpours or thunderstorms that bubble up here and there. Doesn't look too major, and around the northern rivers as well. Otherwise, drier weather returns to New South Wales and the ACT. Wintry weather remains over Tasmania with some snow flurries higher up. A couple of showers for Victoria, a couple of showers for South Australia. But the next low pressure zone stuck over Western Australia on Sunday. That produces a large risk zone, but it's right at the bottom of the risks. So don't get too panicked. It just means maybe some severe thunderstorms could be forming around Sunday inland, and a wintry southerly just brushing places like Albany in the southwest to keep an eye on Sunday as well. So it's kind of what I would consider typical weather for this time of the year, a bit all over the place, and some signs of maybe spring weather coming through as we start to see some areas getting warmer conditions. Just lastly, the rainfall for the next week in the areas where it is going to be the heaviest, it's basically from about south side of Maroochydore all the way down to Sydney, Wollongong areas. Those are the places where we are seeing some heavy rain, but I think for the most part, it is around Brisbane to the northern rivers where we could be seeing, that's 200 millimetres there over the next week, and 150 millimetres between Coffs Harbour and Port Macquarie, although most of that is offshore, just like we talked about last week. Only takes a slight movement for heavy rain offshore to move inland. But we do see some heavy rain spilling over inland with those thunderstorms as well. So if you need rain, good luck. If you don't need rain, good luck as well. That's all from me for today. Catch you again tomorrow, Tuesday, as we take a look at your Australia forecast for the rest of the week. We'll see you then.